It's just another boring night at home. You're on Facebook Marketplace looking for a shelving unit or something, and then recommended feed shows you a gray '05 G sedan. Listing price is so low, it's probably a rolling shell, but you never know, so you take a quick peek. You look through the first few photos, doesn't look too bad. A little rough on the outside, but nothing major. And you scroll to the description, expecting to see the big issue, and that's when it just says, bought a truck for work, no longer drives a car. It runs and drives, but the horn doesn't work. Airbag lights on, and it's got a noticeable valve cover leak. Now, you're actually interested. A completely functional G35 sedan would be perfect for a CD009 swap. Plus, that's just easy seat time with the boys. You scroll up to the photos again, viewed them all this time. Two last pictures show the interior. It's a mess. Torn seats, insanely dirty, and, well, what do we have here? It hits you. You just found a factory 6-speed sedan with black interior that is running and driving. That costs the same as about a decent set of coilovers. Now you're pretty excited. The listing's only been up for 45 minutes, and there are no saves. You contact the seller, he contacts you almost immediately. You're scrambling to the ATM, about to make an hour drive in 40 minutes flat. Success. Apparently this car came specially equipped with a petri dish that likes to incubate mold in the summer heat.
Got my sunglasses.
So this car originally came with a full navigation system in it. As you can see, here's the little pocket din that goes inside this upper glove box compartment, and your controls and the screen. It's a little bit of a shame because it works so well, but since you can't really get updates for it, at least to my knowledge, it renders it antiquated, and I can't really use it for what it needs to be used for. Especially if you're already gonna upgrade the head unit and it already has the functionality in it, a little bit of a redundancy, so and we'll just chalk it up to weight savings. I already installed this panel inside the car that has the full pocket through and through, so that's done. Now I'm just setting this unit up right here, drilled a little hole in here for the USB cable. I ordered this JDM trim bezel and the dual climate control unit from Infiniti Nissan. So there are two different climate control units and there are two different trim bezels. There's one for the navigation system and there's one for a non-nav. And really the only difference, and they both work with one another, is that these little tabs right here will not line up to the back side of this unit. So I ended up ordering this trim kit to fit a non-nav because I already knew I was gonna do this. So then I got my little pack module over here to make it work with the factory Bose system. And then I have this micro bypass system because Alpine got wise over the years, same with the other guys. You don't just ground your parking brake wire anymore. Now you have to use like a little relay like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and install all this stuff. I'll definitely need to make a little trim kit that goes inside of here, something custom, because I've messed with this before and you can't space it out further unless I do some modifying on this piece right here, but even then you'll still have this gap. But I think it actually looks all right when it's in the car, so I'll end up putting a little trim kit in here to make it look nice and flush. Now for those pesky valve covers. Might as well do spark plugs and cam sensors. Not only were both valve covers leaking from their sides, but they were actually leaking straight into the spark plug holes, so that's no bueno. Not too bad for 233,000 miles. Now to clean this mating surface. All right, so we're about to put on the suspension. Pretty excited to see how this thing feels. I mean, it is a budget suspension, but I think it's gonna be leaps and bounds better than what it is right now. So let's check it out. Rolling. Benefits of Chris working at a body shop. Looks good, man. All right, so it might be kind of hard to see me. I pulled off the side of the road here. I'm heading home from Chris's shop. But yeah, I took like an hour-and-a-half detour out on some curvy roads. I couldn't help myself. I was just too excited. The car was driving really nice, so I wanted to kind of put it through its paces and burn through a tank of fuel. And I did just that. And I think I have a pretty good opinion of this car now and where I want to go from here forward. I definitely need to get some driving footage, but I think I'm going to end the video here. And then part 2 will have some driving footage and the additional upgrades from there. I'm super tired right now, so hopefully I can get this finished. But anyway, if I could describe this car with one word and not using a feeling like awesome or fun or anything like that, I mean, if I was to actually describe this car, I would say this car is compliant. It does exactly what you want it to do, when you want it to do it, and that has really impressed me. When we did the alignment, we kind of gave it some neutral specs, so you know, it didn't really lean towards drift or towards grip. This car has a ton of grip. It's quite impressive, to be honest. I was blown away. I mean, obviously I want to set this thing up for a little bit more on the drift side, but yeah, kind of speechless how well this car just did out in some little canyon roads in Helotes, and this thing just tears it up. I mean, it just eats the road. I mean, it's awesome. So yeah, I think the next thing I really want to do, part 2, I want to get the exhaust situated. Nice, quiet, good tone exhaust. Nothing that's drony, nothing super loud. I don't need pops, bangs, nothing like that. Probably do poly bushings. It's the Akibano brake upgrade. Definitely want to do that. This thing needs brakes bad. So instead of just getting pads and rotors, I'm just going to do the Akibano swap. And oil pan spacer, probably Koyo radiator, a few other things here and there. I guess we'll see. We'll keep it a surprise. But yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with this car, and I think if more people drove this thing, they'd probably want one too. I was a little bit skeptical at first. I kind of bought this car on a whim, and I have to say, for the first time in a long time, I'm pleasantly surprised. So anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.